Welcome to the Believe in Your Office podcast, sponsored by Boomerang and Common Sense Office Furniture, the podcast where we explore what makes workplaces work. Every episode features candid conversations with leaders, business professionals, and workplace experts who've been in the trenches. They share the real stories, the wins, the failures, and the lessons learned about culture, teamwork, and leadership that actually matter. Let's get into it.
The recording has started. Another episode of Josh and John on
That's got a good ring to it.
Believe in Your Office rap session, where we talk about everything going on in the world / some office happenings and hopefully some things that are going on that kind of benefit the conversation. But what's up, man? It's been a while. We have to just continue to just have some good conversation.
How's it going? How's the weather up there? Pretty good? Pretty hot?
Same as Florida, hot.
Same as down here, huh?
Really hot, and there's a lot of the humidity is just terrible, but it's not much different. Yeah, it's not much different than Florida. I think, that I was just talking about this yesterday. The other thing that's really crazy is you guys have like the perfect climate for 8 months. So when the 4 months comes around, it's like, oh my God, this is terrible.
Yeah.
It's oppressive. But it's the same for us. We have a pretty decent climate with a lot of changes with the seasons and stuff. But when those 2 months of winter come around, we're like, this is miserable. We got to get the hell out of here,
Yeah.
So I think that the problem is that Orlando or Florida in general has a longer sustained oppressive heat section, where it's like from July, really some parts of June, all the way to September, you got to stay inside from like 1 to 5.
100%. Yeah. I mean, really, if you go further south, I've said it for a long time, there's no seasons here.
Yeah.
It's just all year round. If you can grow tomatoes twice a year in Florida, I mean, literally, you can grow your tomato. You can have a harvest of tomatoes and then pull them up and grow them again.
Yeah.
Another one in October. Yeah, man, it's unbelievable. I remember in West Palm, it got real cold one year, and my friend, when I moved down there, he was like, "Look, man, just bring your shorts and your flip flops and your work boots, and you'll be fine, right?" And I got down there, and it was 30 degrees for a whole week, and I thought I was going to die because cold weather against the ocean, I don't like that. It's windy. I don't like the cold. It's like cold, wet cold is way worse. I would rather take a wet heat than wet cold.
Yeah, well, I mean, I agree.
It's really in a wet heat right now.
The only problem is the wet heat and you're wet, and then it's just you take like 4 showers a day,
Yeah, I'm 4 right now. I'm 3 or 4 a day right now. I'm 2 before I leave the house sometimes.
Yeah,
I go outside, do a little workout, and I come in, take a shower, take another shower right before I leave. I'm always showering.
This morning I built a little deck box for our patio, like where we could put cushions and stuff to save it from the rain, just throw them in there instead of having. And I was like, I'll bang this out in an hour or so. Let me just open the box at 7. By the time I was done, I was just, it was only 8 o'clock in the morning, drenched,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
So we talk about your favorites, like we're talking about your favorite chair earlier. Like if you walk into an office space, what is your, like if a guy said, you do whatever you want to do to my space.
I think we talk about this a lot. I think you have to make sure the space is somewhere where you want to go. I think that I oftentimes design it so it feels there's touches of home. So you feel, or whatever home means to you. So we oftentimes design saying, okay, if it's 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, how do you get people to come back and want to be there at that point in time? So, I think I would have to I'd have to have this chair because I'm not even
that chair's going with you no matter what.
I'm not even an old dealer, but the way you can sit on it, if it's just the whole side, the back flexes, it's great just because you can kind of be way super casual in it, and you can also be, it's good for meetings, casual meetings, and then you can also be formal. It's got good back support. But I think you got to have, for me, you got to have a lot of breakout areas. I think that's the whole point of the office, right? Where the office is more about, okay, why are you going there? You're going there to be with your team. People need to work in their space, whether it's in a cubicle or an office or a desk somewhere, but you also need areas where you can break out. So I would have some like really comfortable, welcoming seating areas, and then follow that up with, obviously conference rooms and meeting areas that were more formal. But I think it would have to be like an open design. And I would probably only really lease somewhere or buy something with a lot of light, a lot of natural light. I think it's a big difference. That having a lot of natural light helps you kind of, did you notice, like, in the wintertime, it's hard to get up in the morning. It's like
Yeah,
really hard because it's so dark out,
yeah.
right? But in the summertime, this morning the birds were chirping at like 5:30, and
Oh,
you
yeah,
just spring too, it's like
yeah.
boom, right up with the light. You get up with the light. So I think that has the same impact in the office. I think you have a lot of natural light, probably have a little bit more of a positive vibe.
Right. I get that. Yeah, I wonder, like, if somebody said, "Here's a clean slate, how and let me do with it what I wanted to do with it," like how would I approach it? Because I was thinking about that talking to this guy this morning on the phone. I'm like, I don't. It would be I'd have to figure it out because I do have some commercial, some furniture lines that I like more than others for sure.
Right.
I mean, I would, I don't know if I'd push those farther, but I would do an open plan. But I'd also have, I mean, sometimes I think these collaborative areas, I think they look really good in an office space, but I don't know, are people using them that much?
Well, it depends what you do. I think that
Do you know what I
sometimes.
mean, though?
Yeah, well, collaborative areas get the wrong rap, right? You think that it's just like this area where people have a bunch of whiteboards and like these beanbag chairs and are hanging out.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily collaborative. In my office, I had like four real big comfy chairs that we hang out on,
Hmm.
and just kind of brainstorm on, and then we could do some informal sales meetings. But then there's, Iris's office has like a table that comes off the wall that has, six chairs around it, so you can do a Zoom meeting, and everyone could be sitting there in a smaller conference room, and then obviously you have boardroom type stuff. But I think that people do use them. I mean, we have team meetings twice a week, and those are, what I would call the breakout areas. I think also when we're designing a space specifically, we're sitting down with the designer and laying out plans and going over it. Like down in Florida, we have that big table that's like really easy to stand at and kind of go over things. Or Almendra will lift her desk up to standing height and we'll collab there. But she's
Mhm.
got stuff on her desk, so it's easier just to go somewhere else. And then
Right.
also buy a library where you can look at finishes and lay things out. So for us, yes. And I don't know, like, if, for me, if it were a law firm talking about a case, you'd want to, maybe they're kind of brainstorming their angle of, defense or attack, so to speak. And
Mhm.
they're kind of just easier to kind of break out and brainstorm instead of doing it, at a desk where someone's sitting across from you.
Yeah.
Accountants probably talking about different tax codes and stuff when they're sitting there saying, okay, this is the stuff that just came over. It's kind of like a training atmosphere for the new people to kind of say, hey, this is this situation I have going on. How would you handle it, or what should we do? I think there's a lot of, depending, no matter what your industry is, I think there's a lot of really good breakout areas. Specifically doctors, if they're kind of, they're talking with their team of doctors and they're trying to figure out, reading x-rays or MRIs or whatever. And, that's just in a spot. But then there could be an area where you also want to talk to the patient and you want it to be a little bit more comforting, or
Yeah.
comfortable to kind of talk about things. So
Do
I
you
just
think
think
it's different in the office? Or do you think it's taken over, like say, in the past, would a desk have gone now where a collaborative space is going? Or is the collaborative space or the meeting spaces or whatever, those all in open areas? Or are they now in private offices? You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. And I
And
think
I've done it both ways.
what's happening is what we're seeing is that the square footage needed per person is it's spread out differently, and there's
Right.
less because you might have more people sharing space, so not everyone technically needs a desk, they just need somewhere to go.
Right.
Or if, hey man, I come in Tuesdays and Thursdays and this person is Mondays and Wednesdays, then that means that if you had 10 people on that schedule, you only have five, right? So
Hmm.
then that means you only need five instead of 10 desks. So some people are doing that. Not a lot of people are doing that. I just think that there were a lot of different things that have gone away, like filing cabinets.
Hmm.
Those were kind of breakout areas too. But remember, John, I mean, there would be filing rooms. I mean, you'd be building
Yeah.
rooms. They'd be on tracks. You'd be turning
Yeah.
this hamster wheel to get the thing to
Doing
go.
that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're turning it
If you
sideways.
sold one of those though, man, you were doing that was a deal.
Well, that
If
was a
you put
big
one of
deal,
those
but also
in,
you needed
yeah.
like an engineer to be able to put it in a high rise
Yeah.
because the thing would fall through the floor. You had to put it by the elevator shaft because no other part of the building could hold it.
Yeah, it was wild. It didn't
Mm-hmm.
go. It was always on a ground. I've only done a couple of those, but yeah, that was definitely like so you're saying like water cooler talk is gone, but now it's just on couches,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think there's still
Water
water
cooler
cooler
talk wasn't
talk.
always just about like whatever. It was also about business and stuff. It was always it's still the same.
Yeah. No, I think that that still happens. The water cooler talks
Right.
definitely still happens, but I think that there's been a push for more collaboration. Do people use it? I think the answer is in different ways, but the reason why you give them that is because post-COVID, people were so isolated to their own nuclear unit. It was like, okay, now I'd like to go see other people again, right? Like how can we
Yeah.
do this? And so now there's more just collaboration time. People are, I'm here, we might as well work together in that fashion. So, I mean, I don't think it's like a 80-hour work week thing, right? Or a 40-hour work week thing. I think it's more of a, hey, it's there if you need it, and we got the space to kind of handle it.
Yeah, it's just a different option.
Yeah,
Speaking
totally.
of getting around people, do you watch a lot of sports, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Your office isn't just where work happens. It's where culture is built, ideas are born, and teams come together. And if your workspace doesn't support the people in it, everything else becomes harder. That's where Boomerang and Common Sense Office Furniture comes in, supporting communities in Orlando, Florida, the tri-state area, and everywhere in between. Boomerang and Common Sense both specialize in high-quality office, hospitality, healthcare, and educational furniture that doesn't just look good, it performs. Whether you're furnishing a growing team, redesigning for hybrid work, or just need furniture that actually works for how people collaborate, Boomerang and Common Sense make it easy and affordable. Visit boomerangofficefurniture.com to see how the right furniture can transform the way your team works.